President Trump seeks to move forward with the elimination of what he calls wasteful spending with Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, while Democrats are aggressively seeking to block those efforts. Joining us now to discuss is Mike Leon, NTD's news contributor and host of the Can We Please Talk podcast. Mike, it's really good to see you. I know you're a sports fan like I am, and we have you here early on Super Bowl Monday to talk politics. But if you think about it, the GOP and Democrats are playing a bit of political football with lots of lawyering over the Department of Government Efficiency. I don't know if it'll be the same result as we saw last night, but jumping in, this controversy over DOGE seemed to escalate very quickly with their discoveries at the USAID. So let's start there. What happened there?
Yeah, Kerry, good to see you first and foremost. I know you're a Penn State guy. I'm not sure if you're an Eagles guy, but if you are, fly Eagles fly. And its analogy is perfect there in terms of, what this looks like from a football context, because what's happening right now is Republicans started a committee that Elon Musk is heading, that Democrats just don't like the person that's heading the committee. Because if you recall, in 2009, Barack Obama started a group to waste government spending, fraud, and abuse, and really work on the efficiency part of this. And part of the efficiency part that they started looking at, Elon Musk's DOGE committee, is what USAID has been spending on some of these programs internationally that they feel like should be cut. At least over $10 million spent in a couple different places, like for tourism in Egypt. There's some other things that at the core of it, government does have a spending problem on. And Elon Musk has been put in charge, and Democrats, rightfully so in some cases, are upset with the person who's put in charge of the committee, not so much the overarching premise of wasteful spending in government. And I think as they cut a little bit more, we're going to find out as we go down the road, Kerry, whether or not the president can actually cut fully what USAID does. Right now, it's obviously under the behest of Marco Rubio. But I think at the core of this, and we talked about the football angle of this, right now, the Democrats are like the Chiefs. They don't have enough points right now. So they need to either get on board here with the Eagle train, or they're going to get left behind.
Yes, and as you mentioned, Musk, very polarizing. People love him, people hate him. Democrats have attempted to use the courts to slow and stop him. A federal judge rejected their motion on Friday, seeking to prevent the Labor Department from giving DOGE the access to its sensitive information systems. So now Andy Kim, the Democratic senator from New Jersey, as we just saw in that last package, said he's threatening to shut the government down in March if DOGE continues its work. So where do you expect this to play out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought this up, because I think people are forgetting, and we've talked about this throughout the entire year, is that there's been continuing resolutions being signed because we haven't gotten a deal in place between Democrats and Republicans to fund our federal government and our employees that help us every day in different ways, right? And so because of that, we continue the continuing resolutions that are 45-day extensions of the government and people getting paid out and federal employees getting paid out. Well, guess what? March 19th is the next one, and we're brushing up against it. And I think Andy Kim and other Democrats that I have talked to have all said, and you heard Maxwell Frost say there earlier in the piece, they all are looking at this data and going, okay, well, if this is the case and we don't have a bill in place that has bipartisan support, you are not going to get any Democratic votes. And we've seen it only takes 1 to 2 votes, specifically in the House. Now it takes a few more in the Senate, where Democrats can actually stand tall and say, as a party, we're just not going to give you any votes, and we're not going to help Speaker Johnson pass something in the House. So I think this is where they have a little bit of the leverage, back to that analogy. But again, that means that Republicans have to come to the table and offer something here by way of good faith in order to get a deal in place. So I expect that, look, President Trump, during the first administration, we had about a month of this where government employees didn't get paid because of something similar or stunt similar like this. I expect we could see something like that happen again, Kerry.
Now, the Democrats are saying that Musk shouldn't have access to the data of these federal departments, saying that he'll actually be able to extract personal information for a nefarious mean or even affect the Treasury's ability to make payments. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would respond in 2 ways. First, you got to remember, Kerry, I've worked in product and technology for forever, so I've dealt with customer data before and how we make it safe, right? And what we put in front of them to make sure that they know that their data is being protected. And of course, data breaches happen all the time, but Elon Musk is in charge of companies from a technological perspective that do capture data. So he has at least the ability to explain why he should do that. Now, I would tell them also, I would like to see Elon Musk on Capitol Hill either testify or give some type of press conference, at least to explain the intentions of DOGE and what they are going to do from a security measure standpoint. I remember talking to Representative Jasmine Crockett about this when the previous administration was going after TikTok and we were deciding what to do with TikTok. And she said, look, there's a lot of companies out there that have access to our data. What are we doing about them? Why aren't we doing the same thing? So in that same vein, I would say Elon Musk right now, if you want to get ahead of this, especially because of what I just said in 2009, Barack Obama championing this stuff. So there was a time where Democrats were behind cutting government efficiency, or at least the government being more efficient and cutting out the waste, fraud, and abuse that's being done. Have Elon Musk testify or give a press conference specifically outlining the steps that he's going to take to ensure that there isn't anything nefarious going on and there is a protection of customer data in there. And it's just in terms of getting access to make sure that everything's safe and there are no loopholes that could lead us to potential security and data breaches.
Well, Mike, it's always great to get your perspectives. Hope you enjoyed the game. Appreciate that analogy as well. Mike Leon, NTD News contributor and host of the Can We Please Talk podcast. Great to see you.
Great to see you, Kerry. Thank you again.
Take care.